Hey everyone, it is Tuesday, May 16th, 2017, and it's time to go to work on music. It's been a really good day so far. I'm definitely a little off track with where I wanted to be time wise today, and that also happened yesterday, so I've definitely got a problem right now with time management as far as the music sessions go. So I'm going to look into fixing that tonight, and hopefully I'll be right back on track tomorrow and I can just resolve those issues. But it seems to really be a constant thing for me, so if you guys have any tips on that, let me know. But today's going to be a great session. We're going to hit some online classes, we're going to do some guitar work, and then we're going to move forward on the production front and do some horn arranging. So I will talk you guys through as much as I can as we go. Let's get it. All right, good session overall. Um, just like the last session, definitely much shorter than I would have liked, and I've definitely got some problems. Like I was saying at the beginning of the session, just managing time, managing the rest of my commitments right now, and that's not good. So, um, I think my interim solution right now is just to make sure that I'm early to all my other commitments, so that I can get done with those early and be early to my practice sessions. I'll let you guys know how that goes. And again, if you guys have any thoughts on that, please hook it up. But overall, the time that I did spend was well spent. I did some good online classwork, going deeper with the ear sketch library, learning a little bit more about Python functions and arguments, which I think is really interesting. It's taking me back to my computer science days, and I sort of dabbled pretty heavily with programming very early in my career and like in my late teens, early 20s. So it's fun to maybe be bringing that back and possibly integrating that into my music practice. That would be really cool. So I'm excited about that. And then moving forward with my music business class, just going deeper with some notes about image and branding and how it's basically just about sending a consistent message, which builds trust with people and also builds your brand identity and your brand recognition, which is really, really valuable. So that's always cool to think about that and think about how I can do that in an authentic way. That's really, really important to me. But at the same time, if you if you shy away from the marketing aspect and you don't get your music in front of the right people, that can make it a lot harder to make money unless you're that good where you're just going viral, regardless. And like, don't get me wrong, I would love to be that good. And, maybe one day I'm going to put something out that just like for some reason is undeniably great and just spreads like wildfire across the internet. I mean, that would be awesome. But at the same time, like, I think it's okay for me to authentically do my part and like package the music in a way that's meaningful and beautiful. It's like if someone serves you a delicious meal, but it's a crappy presentation of the food, that can sometimes compromise the experience. Versus if the food is really great and it's presented in a really great way, that can enhance the experience. At the end of the day, like the food has to be good no matter what. So that's not even in question. Like the music I'm going to put out is going to be the highest quality that I'm like humanly possibly capable of creating right now. And that's something I'm working extremely hard on. But at the same time, like I don't think it's bad to think about the presentation. And I think that I myself demonized that for many years. Like, oh, there shouldn't be marketing, or you shouldn't have to think about the business piece. And maybe that's true, but I'm just gonna experiment and try it out, and I'll let you guys know how it goes. So I'm having fun with that. Then I moved on to some guitar practice, working through my harmony class, just learning more about chord colors, different notes you can add, and I'm gonna start systematically just going through all the different chord qualities, major, minor, etc., and then forming an opinion and writing down that opinion about how different added tones, like adding the sixth, adding the seventh, suspending the second, suspending the fourth, all that stuff. Um, Basically, like figuring out my opinion on what what the emotional quality of each one of those changes is, so that I can be a little bit more efficient in the future. If I'm like, okay, I want this emotion from this chord from this key, and I can just boom, I can knock it out in the moment. So that's going great. Then I did some online guitar class stuff, just some review, power chord exercises, major and minor chord exercises, just mixing things up, synthesizing what I've learned so far in the class, which has been really great. Slowing things down, and just focusing on quality over quantity, quality over speed, for sure, and I'll just let speed come with time. And then I moved on to a little bit of reading from the arrangement book, just reading more about approach chords and how pretty much you want chromatic approach chords you can do whatever you want with those, but when you're harmonizing them, you want them to be the same chord quality as the chord that they're going to resolve to. So like if you're going to resolve to a dominant chord, you want your chromatic approach chord to be a dominant chord. If you're resolving to a major chord, you want the chromatic approach note to be major. So that's a really good insider tip, and that's exactly why I'm reading the book. So then I got into my song I'm working on right now and was re-listening back to the stuff I did a few days ago, and I'm not really feeling the way it's sounding, so I'm going to change it up. And I realized the thing that I really want to nail is I got to nail the melody. The melody has got to be there. Otherwise, like, harmonizing it makes no sense. Then you're just building chords like sort of randomly, which I don't want. So that was a good realization, even though it sort of came out of like a stumbling block or a failure. I think that's a lot of times the way we get that stuff. So yeah, I'm moving forward, guys. Like, I'm better than I was 2 hours ago or 3 hours ago when I started the session. So at the end of the day, that's all that matters, and that's going to add up at some point. And that's why I always tell myself, just enjoy the process, because like, you never know when success is going to come, and maybe your idea of success is not going to come and it's going to be something else. And if you haven't enjoyed the process, like, all you have is that little moment of success to be happy, and that just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me in terms of the way I want to live my life as a human being, not just as not just the role I'm playing in society and in other people's lives. Not that that's not important, but obviously I want there to be a balance. So yeah, man, just grinding toward my goals, staying focused on what's important, making sure that every day gets me closer to where I want to be, enjoying the process as much as possible. I hope you guys are out there doing the same. And I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow for more. Till then.